What's going on YouTube, Fesify Media. Recently I broke down Diggity's Daily Duppy and a lot of you guys liked the breakdowns, and Koke dropped his one recently and there was a lot of bars in that. I pick out my favourite bars, don't get every single bar, but let's get straight into it. This is the breakdown episode 2, and comment below anyone you want to see me break down their freestyles on any platform. I'll do it for you guys, just comment below. The first bar that hit hard, the beat was just booming on this. It just come in like boom after every sit bar. I was playing with straps when you was playing Sonic, and I was running through the flats while you was reading comments. Koke's really good at drawing you in to show you what his life was like compared to the average person, and this was a really good comparison. A lot of people underrate Koke's pen. He don't hit you with 100 metaphors, but his pen and his rhyming skills are unbelievable. If you just look at the connections on the screen, he makes everything rhyme, and that's why it just hits so hard, because the connections in the multi-syllables. Next bar, I seen a snake take shape and then call me homie. I seen a mate kill a mate like he didn't know him. I see Tiny bun food. I see Spider told him. I see the snipers on the roof when they came to hold him. This is what I was talking about with the multi-syllables. Eminem is ridiculous at it, but Koke is good. He said snake take shape, he had homie, he had mate kill a mate, like he and Tiny, he had food and roof, he had hold him and told him. He was just connecting everything in this rhyme scheme. It was crazy. The way Koke writes is like a puzzle. A lot of rappers have simplistic 4 bars and it just connects, but Koke's like a puzzle. There's always rhymes connecting somewhere higher up. That's how he writes. And that's why I'd say he picked the perfect beat for the song. If you guys have listened to the freestyle, it goes boom at the end of the bars. And that's because the puzzle finally connects and it just hits you, and then bang, the beat hits as well. It was perfect. Also, he mentioned Spider there. If you guys know who Spider is, you've been a long time Koke fan. Basically, the song back in the day, Are You Alone Fam, was a diss to Spider, someone that snitched from his hood on loads of people and put a lot of people inside. It was Koke's old friend, and he had to make that song, he said, to show that he ain't with what he done. It was said that he done a deal with the police and the Crown Prosecution Service, and his sentence was reduced to 8 years. In return, he agreed to give evidence at several trials. They described him as a drug dealer and a black on black supergrass. Apparently, he gave a lot of evidence to the police that put people behind bars. That was a crazy rhyme scheme, and he actually continued it for many more bars, but without going into everything. He said, I gave him fire in the booth and I left it smoking. I boomed off the door and I left it open. This is true. Koke's Fire in the Booth was the first to hit 1 million views, and still today is one of them ones that gets replayed all the time. I think it's at nearly 20 million now, but he was the first guy to really set off Charlie Sloth's platform. He's still in the game years later. He's one of the GOATs. He's saying he don't get his credit for this, and he said maybe because I'm white is why they didn't know it, and maybe when he dies they'll tell you who the GOAT is. Next crazy bar that stood out for me, he said, you know, true or lie, I ain't never spoken. Do or die, I ain't never frozen. He says true or lie is never spoken because it was a lie when he got arrested for an AM charge back in the day during his Rock Nation deal. It was false, and still he didn't speak and say, oh, I'm innocent in interview. He still didn't speak up, and he says he's never frozen in situations that's happened around him in crazy scenarios. He's recently on a podcast called James English, and he talks about a lot of experiences like getting shot at on there. It's crazy. He says, my dome been stressed, but I'm sort of coping. Thinking about Smalls got me more than broken. Smalls was in a song called Busy with Koke and was a close friend of his. He was shot in the head and passed away. It was even on CCTV. Rest in peace to Smalls. Seemed like a really nice guy. Big French was on an interview on Big Ego Media Entertainment, and he was talking about Smalls on that, and he said that Smalls was just about to get a record deal before his passing. This next bar was my favourite bar of the whole Daily Duppy. Got me on remand for taking my own shit, doing circles around the yard like a goldfish. I'm not 100% on the explanation on this bar, but I think I know what it is. Recently, he was remanded back to jail last year, and in these podcasts that come out on James English, he said that he went to prison because he went to get something out of a studio, and they was refusing to give it to him, so an altercation went down. That might be what he meant when he said got me in remand for taking my own shit, because it was his music he was getting out of the studio, and something went down then. And they're doing circles around the yard like a goldfish. If you've ever been in prison, or even just seen a film where prison's involved, you would know you go round and round doing laps on the exercise yard. The way that he made that work with the goldfish reference as well. Of course, a goldfish just goes round and round patrolling this bowl all day. It was crazy. Gotta be one of the best Daily Duppies. Koke said, talking like he shots and never seen a whole brick. Talk about the ops and never been on no trips. Literally just tearing it apart with just perfect rhyming skills and making it look easy, what Koke always does. It's good to see Koke is back and at his best. It seems he's going to be doing a Fire in the Booth part 2, so you got another freestyle to look forward to as well. Of course, I just break down some of my favourite bars. If you guys are going to watch the full track, go over to Crime Daily. It's on there. It's definitely worth a watch if you guys haven't seen it already. And it's definitely got a lot of replay value if you have as well. Make sure you guys comment below any freestyles you want me to break down in the future, some of my favorite bars in. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe as always with the notification bell on. Like this video if you support me. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.